Osteoporosis is one of the most silent and devastating diseases affecting global health. Imagine living with the constant feeling that your bones are about to break at any moment, without ever having been warned about the risk. This is the drama faced by millions of people around the world who, without even knowing it, are being attacked by this insidious condition. The worst part, most only discover that they have osteoporosis when the pain becomes unbearable or, in many cases, a fracture occurs unexpectedly. The disease is known for its silent and progressive impact. Over the years, osteoporosis weakens bones so gradually that people often don't notice it until a simple movement or fall becomes fatal. Imagine an elderly person trying to lift a heavy object, and suddenly, the pain in their back becomes unbearable. The slow-motion capture of this moment is enough to show the impact, the bone fragility and limitation that osteoporosis can cause. This is when the person begins to realize that their bones are no longer as strong as they once were. But why does this happen? Osteoporosis occurs when the body loses more bone mass than it can produce. Fragile bones and skeletal structures increase the risk of fractures and make simple daily activities a real challenge. The problem is that by the time a person starts to feel the consequences, back pain, fractures, loss of mobility, it is already too late to prevent what has already happened. That is why this condition is called a silent disease. It develops without fanfare, until the bones that should support the body can no longer do so. And here comes the crucial point of our story. Did you know that you can prevent osteoporosis? That's right. The good news is that with simple but effective changes, you can prevent this condition from developing, or, if it has already started, drastically minimize its impact. The secret lies in small adjustments to your lifestyle, diet, physical activity, and of course, regular medical checkups. But how does this work in practice? What is the real secret to preventing osteoporosis? Get ready, because you are about to discover how simple actions can completely transform the future of your bones. Don't put it off. Your body will thank you for taking action now, before it's too late. Now that you have an understanding of the silent impact of osteoporosis, it's time to understand what's really happening to your bones, and why you should care about this condition. Osteoporosis is a progressive bone disease that weakens your bones, making them more fragile and prone to fractures. But what makes it especially insidious is the fact that it often develops without any obvious symptoms, until a fracture occurs. You could be living with osteoporosis and not even realize it. Normally, your body maintains a balance between the formation and destruction of bone tissue. Over time, your body breaks down old bone and forms new bone. However, as you age, this process becomes out of balance, and your body begins to break down bone faster than it can form new bone. This results in bones that are thinner, more fragile, and more prone to fracture. In other words, you may not see, feel, or even realize that osteoporosis is taking hold until the critical moment when your bones can no longer support your body weight. Worst of all, unlike many other diseases, osteoporosis doesn't show any obvious warning signs until the bone is already fragile. It could be that you take a small misstep and suddenly suffer a fracture, or that a bad cough is enough to cause a serious problem. These types of incidents are clear signs that your bones are no longer as strong as they once were, and when this happens, recovery can be slow and difficult. Who is more susceptible to this condition? There are several risk factors that can increase the likelihood of developing osteoporosis. Age is the main factor, as the process of bone loss tends to accelerate after the age of 30. Women, especially after menopause, are also more likely to develop osteoporosis due to decreased levels of estrogen, a hormone that plays an important role in protecting bone density. In addition, genetics, lack of physical activity, smoking, and a diet deficient in calcium and vitamin D are also among the main risk factors. It is essential to understand that osteoporosis is not a condition exclusive to the elderly or people with serious illnesses. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, if risk factors are not managed correctly. This means that, throughout our lives, we are all subject to this condition. But the good news is that, if we take preventative measures, we can significantly reduce the chances of developing osteoporosis and the complications associated with it. Now that you have an idea of what osteoporosis is and how it acts silently on your body, it is clear that the concern is real and urgent. But at the same time, it is important to know that, by taking some key actions, you can prevent your bones from becoming fragile and vulnerable. Prevention is possible, and it is time to act. What are you going to do to protect the health of your bones? Let's find out in the next topic. Now that you know the silent impact of osteoporosis, it's time to explore one of the greatest allies in keeping your bones strong and healthy: your diet. The key to preventing osteoporosis starts with what you put on your plate every day. Yes, you read that right. What you eat can be the difference between fragile bones and a strong, resilient bone structure. And the good news is that with a few simple dietary changes, you can effectively and naturally strengthen your bones. The first step is to ensure that your diet is rich in calcium, the most important mineral for bone health. Calcium is essential because it strengthens bone structure and helps prevent bone density loss over time. The recommended daily intake of calcium for adults varies, but an average of 1,000 milligrams per day is a good goal to aim for. Rich sources of calcium include milk, cheeses, yogurt, in addition to green leafy vegetables such as ascorbic and broccoli. Foods like tofu, almonds and sardines, also great allies. In addition to calcium, vitamin D plays a crucial role in the absorption of this mineral. Without enough vitamin D, the body cannot use calcium effectively, which can lead to weakened bones. The body can produce vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, but it is also possible to get this vitamin from foods such as oily fish, like salmon and tuna, egg yolks, fortified dairy products, and even fortified cereals. If you have little sun exposure, or live in areas with less sunlight, it is even more important to ensure that you are getting enough vitamin D through your diet. Another important nutrient for bone health is magnesium, which helps in bone formation and calcium metabolism. Magnesium can be found in foods such as nuts, seeds, beans, avocado, and whole grains. Furthermore, the potassium is also important for maintaining bone health, as it helps control the balance of calcium in the body. Bananas, potatoes, spinach, and pumpkin are great sources of this mineral. However, it is important to highlight that excessive intake of processed foods, refined sugars, and safenin be harmful to bone health. Foods high in sodium, for example, can increase the excretion of calcium through urine, weakening bones. Drinking too much coffee can also interfere with calcium absorption. Therefore, it is essential to balance your diet, avoiding excesses and focusing on foods that truly nourish your bones. Finally, protein also plays an important role in bone health. While calcium and vitamin D are essential, bones need protein to stay strong. Lean meats, legumes, tofu, and cheese are good sources of high-quality protein. It's worth remembering that protein isn't just for your muscles. It also helps keep your bones strong. Now that you understand the importance of diet for bone health, the big question is, how can you incorporate these foods into your daily routine? A nutritious breakfast with milk or yogurt, a green salad with avocado for lunch, and a snack of almonds can be great places to start. Small changes to your eating routine can make a big difference in preventing osteoporosis. Did you know that a simple adjustment to your diet can be enough to strengthen your bones and prevent serious problems in the future? Now that you know what to put on your plate, in the next topic, we will see how physical activity can be a great ally in the battle against osteoporosis. Get ready to discover the power of exercise. Now that we've talked about how diet can protect your bones, it's time to explore another fundamental pillar of bone health: physical exercise. If you thought osteoporosis was just a matter of diet and genetics, it's time to think again. Regular physical activity not only strengthens your muscles, but it also plays a crucial role in preserving bone density. In fact, exercise is one of the most effective ways to prevent osteoporosis and ensure that your bones stay strong and healthy over time. Osteoporosis occurs when the bone loses its density, becoming more fragile and prone to fractures. And this is exactly where exercise comes in as the solution. Physical activities, especially those that involve weight and impact, help to stimulate the bones, increasing their density and strength. Exercises of resistance, such as lifting weights, and activities of impact such as walking, running, or dancing, are especially effective in improving bone health. One of the best ways to combat osteoporosis is strength exercise. Lifting weights, strength training, or even doing bodyweight exercises like push-ups and squats are ways to put controlled stress on your bones, encouraging them to grow stronger. These exercises help increase bone mass and prevent bone loss by promoting greater bone mineral density. In addition, by strengthening the muscles surrounding your bones, you also improve your balance, which is essential for reducing the risk of falls and fractures. Aerobic exercise. Low-impact activities are also essential for strengthening bones. Walking, for example, is a simple and effective form of activity that does not require much effort. but still helps to strengthen bones and increase their density. In addition, activities such as cycling and tall swimming, which are gentle on the joints, can be a good option for people who already have osteoporosis or who are just starting to exercise, offering benefits to the bones without putting too much strain on the body. Another type of exercise that is extremely beneficial for bone health is balance training. This can include yoga, tai chi, or simple balance exercises, such as standing on one foot for a few seconds. This helps prevent falls and fractures, which are especially dangerous for people with osteoporosis, since their bones are already fragile. Balance is also key to improving posture and muscle strength, preventing the risk of injury. It is important to note that to have a positive impact on bone health, exercises must be done regularly. Frequency is the key. The ideal is to practice physical activities of moderate to high intensity, at least 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. But if you are just starting out, don't worry. The important thing is to start small and gradually increase the intensity and duration of the activities. Consistency is key. If you're worried that exercising with osteoporosis might be risky, don't worry. There are many ways to adapt your exercises so that they are safe and effective, even for those who already have the condition. Consulting your doctor or physical therapist before you start can help ensure that your exercises are appropriate for your level of health and bone condition. Now that you know how exercise can be a real ally in preventing osteoporosis, you may be wondering, how do I get started? The good news is that you don't need expensive equipment or a gym membership to get started. A walk outside, climbing stairs, or even doing stretching exercises at home are great steps to start strengthening your bones. In the next topic, we will talk about an often overlooked but fundamental component of bone health: healthy lifestyle. How can simple habits like quitting smoking or cutting down on alcohol make a big difference to your bone health? Stay with us to find out. Now that we've discussed the importance of a balanced diet and exercise for bone health, it's time to address another essential factor: a healthy lifestyle. Many people don't realize that certain daily habits can significantly contribute to weakening bones. If you're concerned about osteoporosis and want to protect yourself, it's time to rethink certain behaviors that may be harming your bone health. Smoking and its destructive effects on bone. Smoking is one of the main culprits for bone health. Studies show that smoking reduces bone density and increases the risk of fractures. Smoking impairs blood circulation, which directly affects the body's ability to supply bones with essential nutrients, such as calcium and vitamin D. In addition, tobacco interferes with the production of estrogen, a hormone that is vital for bone health in women. This means that smoking accelerates the process of bone loss, making your bones weaker and more vulnerable. It's important to understand that osteoporosis isn't limited to women who have gone through menopause. Men who smoke are also at risk for bone loss, and smoking can affect bone health at any age. If you smoke, taking this crucial step toward your health is one of the best decisions you can make to preserve your bones and reduce your risk of osteoporosis. Quitting smoking not only improves your bone health, but it also strengthens your cardiovascular and respiratory systems, benefiting your overall health. Alcohol, a silent villain for your bones. Another habit that is detrimental to bone health is excessive alcohol consumption. While the occasional glass of wine or beer is nothing to worry about, regular high alcohol consumption can be a significant risk factor for osteoporosis. Alcohol interferes with the body's absorption of calcium, impairing the ability of bones to repair themselves and stay strong. In addition, alcohol also affects liver function, which is crucial for metabolizing vitamin D, another essential component of bone health. Excessive alcohol consumption is also linked to falls, which are dangerous for people with fragile bones. Falls can result in fractures, which are particularly risky for those who already have osteoporosis. If you want to protect your bone health, it's important to limit your alcohol intake and, if possible, reduce or eliminate excessive drinking. Moderation is key, and your bone health will thank you in the long run. Sun exposure, a vital element for your bones. Another common mistake people make that affects bone health is avoiding sun exposure. Vitamin D, as discussed earlier, is essential for calcium absorption and bone strength. Although you can get vitamin D through your diet, the best way for your body to synthesize this vitamin is through direct sunlight. In countries with harsh winters, or in people who spend most of their day indoors, vitamin D deficiency is very common and can lead to weakened bones. If you live in an area with plenty of sunlight, try to get at least 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight each day, especially during the hours when the sun's rays are strongest. Even a brisk walk outside can help. Your body synthesizes the vitamin D needed for bone health. If you have trouble getting enough vitamin D from sun exposure, talk to your doctor about supplementation. Practical tips to improve your lifestyle. The good news is that changing your lifestyle to protect your bones doesn't have to mean making huge sacrifices. Simple changes to your daily routine can have a significant impact. In addition to quitting smoking and cutting back on alcohol, you can adopt other practices that promote bone health, avoiding long periods of inactivity, getting enough sleep so your body can recover and repair your bones, and doing activities that improve your posture, such as yoga or Pilates, are also great options. Additionally, ensuring that you maintain a healthy weight is crucial. Being overweight can put a strain on your bones and joints, increasing your risk of injury. On the other hand, being too underweight can negatively impact your bone density. The key is to find a healthy balance, and that starts with making conscious choices every day. Conclusion: prevention is in your hands. You now know that protecting your bones involves more than just eating a balanced diet or exercising, but also making lifestyle changes, quitting smoking, cutting back on alcohol, getting plenty of sunlight, and maintaining a healthy weight are simple but powerful habits that can help keep your bones strong and prevent osteoporosis. Control over your bone health is truly in your hands. Now, in the next topic, we will explore how regular medical appointments and checkups can help detect osteoporosis early, allowing you to take quick and effective steps to protect your bone health. Don't put it off. Prevention starts now. After exploring how diet, exercise, and a healthy lifestyle can help protect your bones, it's time to reflect on the importance of continuous prevention and taking decisive action. Osteoporosis can be a silent threat, but you have the power to change the course of your bone health. The good news is that with the right choices, you can prevent osteoporosis from affecting your life, and may even reverse the damage that has already occurred, at least in part. The most important thing to remember is that sooner you start taking action, the better. Don't wait until back pain or an unexpected fracture is the sign that something is wrong. Osteoporosis, unlike many diseases, is preventable, and the changes you make today can make all the difference in the future. If you want to stay active, pain-free, and enjoy a good quality of life as you age, prevention is the way to go. You now have all the tools to start your bone protection journey. Diet rich in calcium and vitamin D, resistance and impact exercises, and a lifestyle free from harmful habits, such as smoking or drinking too much alcohol. These are the foundations of preventing osteoporosis and maintaining strong bones. All you need to do now is put these changes into practice. But beyond that, remember that the regular medical monitoring is essential. Regular checkups with your doctor, bone density tests, and risk assessments are ways to monitor your bone health. Over the years, early diagnosis can be key to stopping the progression of osteoporosis and, if necessary, starting treatments that help strengthen your bones before irreversible damage occurs. Prevention is a journey, and the sooner you start, the stronger and healthier your bone structure will be. Now is the time to take control of your bone health. Every step counts. The lifestyle change you start today will ensure that you continue to enjoy quality of life, energy, and freedom of movement for many years to come. Be proactive. Start making healthy choices now that will benefit your bones in the future. And remember, there is no better time than now. Your body and bones are a reflection of your decisions today, and you have the power to protect your health for the future. Don't wait any longer. The first step to a healthy, osteoporosis-free life starts with you.